Mm-hmm.
currency. I don't know what their currency is called, which is probably pretty bad,
The
but
the won, I thought. Or is that Korean? Chinese.
I think that doesn't sound. Is it yen?
The yuan. No, the yen's
Yuan?
Japanese. YUAN is Chinese. But I thought it was like
Oh,
won.
oh, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard of that. I
Scary
don't know
for
how that's gonna
us.
work.
I know. Well, and other people use the US dollar, don't they? But I think if oil changed, no, everyone
Right.
would change because that's like the probably the biggest commodity that gets
Right.
traded.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a huge impact if it happens. The dollar's not gonna be king.
Everyone keeps saying that the US is going to be like Venezuela was when we trashed their oil market. Because we
I have
did.
heard that too. Yeah. Well, we
Yeah.
did. Yeah. Right. Well, maybe it's karmic, right?
Yeah, well, I would say a lot of people wouldn't mind seeing us fail.
Right.
But people don't take into account that there are actual humans there. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
they just see the US as a big company and don't take into account that there are multiple like so many people whose lives would be
Right.
altered.
Yeah, because it's not like the people on the top are gonna be that affected, I feel like they'll be fine. It'll be all the other people
Right.
that are gonna have the fallout, just like always.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be pretty bad. I don't know. But I guess I heard like 'cause the US sanctions so much or whatever that people are tired of it.
Yeah. They strong arm everyone.
Right. So people just want to switch, but I don't know. But
Anyone
yeah,
who
I
has
don't
that
think.
power is going to use it
No, yeah.
irresponsibly, I think.
Right. I think if it goes to any other currency, eventually that country will also do it. I feel like if we had a global currency, it'd have to be something totally new.
Yeah. And
But then,
like part of the UN or something. Like something that's like neutral, everyone votes, like it's
mm,
because if anyone was in charge of it, they'd just
right.
I
They
would be
just
very
get
afraid of
corrupted.
China taking it over.
Right.
Given
Well,
their
yeah.
just yeah, we probably shouldn't touch on China, but you know what I mean though, like they're a very controlling government.
Right. It's also part of the BRICS, right? It's Brazil, India, Russia, China, and well, they're trying to get Saudi Arabia, right?
That's
That's the whole point.
scary.
Or is Saudi Arabia already part of it? Because the BRICS, yes. But I guess China won that it would be under their currency. I don't know.
Ugh.
But like Russia wouldn't be good. I don't know why India's with them.
Because they have a lot of money,
Right. Okay.
maybe. Because we didn't
Yeah.
team up with them. Probably because we
Yeah.
wronged them in some way. Probably because we are allied with Britain, UK,
Right.
and they wronged India big time.
Right. Yeah.
Not many
I don't
people
know.
like the UK worldwide either.
That's true. Yeah, they're just our older cousin that fucked up before us.
Yeah. I mean, everyone rises and falls.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually. Isn't it like 300 years is when empires fall?
Yeah.
The US is due. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fun time to
Can't
be
wait to
alive.
move.
To where? Belize?
Yeah, that's where I want to live. Even
Okay.
though their government is also super corrupt, but
Yeah, I guess where isn't.
right, everywhere is. Like realistically here the government is corrupt, but at least we have the illusion that it's not that bad. But like I know a lot of other countries it's a lot worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd move to Belize because I get hot.
Oh, I love the heat. I
I'd have
love
to
it.
visit, but is it also humid? I assume.
Yeah.
I think I would die, like literally.
It is so
Maybe
nice.
I'd get used to it. I don't know. I think I would probably like die of heat stroke though.
You'd get used to it. Our bodies are so adaptable.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to find my exit plan, I guess, but I don't think. Is there anywhere really safe? I don't think so.
No, New Zealand is a good one.
That's true. I do really want to visit them too.
Me too.
They're so far away though.
Yeah, and it's so expensive to get there because everything flies in. You have to get to Australia.
Right. But is it expensive to live there? I've
I
never
don't
really looked.
think so. It must be fairly, given that it's an island that doesn't
Right.
have a lot of industry.
Yeah. All right. Well, oh, one more question, I guess. Do you think it's purposeful that we don't teach about money in school?
Yes. 1,000,000% yes. I think the
Yeah.
people who benefit the most from people not knowing about money are the same people who decide what we learn.
Yeah, that's probably
Although
true.
I will say my school did, like, we did junior achievement. We did learn that stuff, but I think that you have to be in a certain level of secure to be able to take that in. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like we all learned about it. I remember we did little like here's how a business works. I learned all about how like supply and demand. Like in elementary school we talked about that. But I know that there are kids who I went to school with who did not who would say no, we never learned that. Like we don't know or I don't know anything about it.
Right. Yeah, I know my elementary school did Exchange City, which was a day where you got a job and you pretended to do the job and you paid, like you made decisions and wrote a check to pay your bills and but it was like one day. So
Oh.
it's like, but I think I don't know, maybe they prepped us. I don't really remember talking about it before, but like during the whole day you like pretend to be an adult basically and make just
Yeah.
adult decisions. But then after that, I mean, then I remember econ and like I don't sometime in high school I guess was one class of econ, but I don't really remember like other required money management things.
We had a, I know, elementary school, like, we would have someone come in to do junior achievement, which was like that kind of stuff, like, learn to write a check, that. But I know in eighth grade, we had part of our social studies class was personal finance.
Oh, that's good.
And then we also had obviously electives in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, we had well, I took a personal finance and business management electives in high school, but obviously they're not required, so not everyone takes those.
Yeah. And I had to
But it
take
was
it
an
in
option.
college as a gen ed requirement, but I never showed up to that class.
I don't think I took any finance anything in college.
I had to take econ, but like
Oh. Uh,
macro economics.
oh. I don't think I took econ. I took political science instead for some reason because I thought
Oh.
it'd be easier and it was not.
Yeah, mine was very easy. I never showed up. My professor literally like did not give a shit.
But I feel like by the time college, it's too late to teach.
Right. Because if you didn't make it to
You already,
college, yeah,
yeah. And you already have your habits, I feel like, by then.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could change them, but I don't know. Do you think it's right that students can sign up for student loans at like 17 or
No, I
18?
don't. I don't think that. I think they, like, I think you should be able to sign up for a loan, but I really think that they need to do, like, you know how when you get married in a church, they do, like, counseling beforehand? Like, you
Yeah,
need to do some kind of, like, here's exactly what you're signing up for. Here are the consequences. Like no one explains the terms to you. They just let you
right.
like you should have to sit down face to face with someone and talk through it and then you can sign
Yeah,
because it's too easy to skip terms and conditions and not look, but that's what they want you to do because I don't think many people would sign up for something if it was explicitly explained the like
Right. I
hazards.
Yeah, I think that should definitely be like you should have to sit down when you're starting to look at like if you want to look at colleges, maybe there's like one class or session or something that you have to like go to before you apply.
Yeah.
Because also like no one talks about that you're still getting interest on your unsubsidized loans, so you should be paying on that. Because
Right.
everyone just says, I don't have to start paying until 6 months after I graduate, regardless. And they don't even look at it. And then you get all of this added interest that you're like, where did this come from?
And I think you should only be like if you're getting a degree in social work, let's say, because
Yeah.
that's not a very high paying career, especially without secondary education, like a master's. Like, there should be a limit on how much you could reasonably take out, which would then make those programs cheaper because no one would be able to do it, and those are jobs that we need. But, like, you should have to have, like, your expected salary is this. So here's how much you can take out so that maybe someday you'll pay it off.
Right. Yeah, I think they should show that. Like, here's what you want to do. Here's probably what you could make. Here's how much debt it's going to require. Like, you do the math or something. But
Right, like,
also, I think that was one problem, like with all these recessions and stuff, like when you're going in, you could say, okay, I'm going to make this much money.
and then you don't. And I think but like, your tuition should be based on the salary that you're getting out of it. You know what I mean? Like, why? I know people who went to, like, University of Wisconsin in Madison and paid, like, $20,000 a year to become a
Yeah.
teacher. Like, you're never gonna pay that off on a
I
teacher's
think I
salary.
mean, they do have those forgiveness things if you teach certain
Yeah.
places or
But okay,
whatever. Yeah,
other like
right.
examples of you really paid 80 to $100,000 for this degree that's gonna make you
Yeah,
40,000 a
that's a
year.
problem. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to charge that much when it's not worth that much as a job.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it really should be based on how much it's worth, and that you could say like lifetime earnings, I guess. But I think that the cost of a degree should not exceed 1 year's salary, or like half a year's salary, really,
Yeah,
because
like you used to be able to work part-time and pay your way through school.
or like work over the summer full time, and then
Yeah,
you paid your whole tuition and living expenses for the year.
right. That used to be common.
Yeah.
Definitely not. You cannot do that anymore. That seems, yeah.
No. I worked during school and I feel like I worked not usually every weeknight, but some weeknights and most weekend days. Like, I would probably work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not like double shifts, but one shift a day. I maybe made $600 a month. I could not even pay my rent was 300, which is really cheap for rent.
Yeah,
And I still could not have survived on that, I don't think.
right.
Much less school. Like,
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people aren't going to school anymore, or less people are going in, I feel like.
I wouldn't have, I think if I could go back, I wouldn't have gone. But I guess I like my job and
Okay.
I don't know. A lot of careers like a tech school, you could build your way up to what I started out at easily in the same amount
Yeah,
of time as my degree took me.
that's true.
Some trades you start out at like 120,000 a year. Like,
That's true.
there's good ones.
There are some good trades out there. I think trades should start coming back because, I mean, we definitely need the trades and no one's doing it because everyone's been pushed to college.
Uh-huh.
And there's good money in some of those. But I
And
don't
we
know.
do still need people to work jobs that aren't degree
Yeah.
holding jobs. Like,
Right.
Not everyone can go to college. If they do,
Yeah.
that's how you end up with cashiers at McDonald's with